There's a trend that I've been noticing in the world of manifestation and all these people who have created these profound, brilliant, gigantic dreams and fulfilled things and created things and brought things into their life that you could have never imagined. And what I'm starting to realize is that a lot of these people and how they teach about manifestation, in the midst of their transformation, they had no idea what the hell was happening. They had no idea how they were doing it. All this stuff just started changing. And see, when we teach about manifestation, it often takes the form of, like what I've been realizing is we say, well, I was believing it was possible, and you know, once I believed that it was possible, it created this like energy of like faith and like passion and motivation. And so because I had that passion, I started taking actions that I never would have taken if I didn't believe in myself. And then when I took that action, it put me in the place where this opportunity arose. And because I believed in myself, I went after it. And it's this chain reaction that takes place when there's a fundamental identity shift in our life. We don't know what the hell's going on. When somebody teaches manifestation, it's really just kind of a shot in the dark, trying to describe the magical divine law by which your life changes when you change. And none of us can really describe it. None of us can really pinpoint it. There's a lot of pointers. There's a lot of ideas and methods and sort of philosophies and concepts about, okay, so manifestation means you have to believe in yourself, and then you imagine that you're already in the point of fulfillment, and from that point you take actions that lead to this, that, and the other. But see, there's something at play within manifestation that a lot of us don't really touch on. And what that is the divine law. The magical process by which when you make an internal shift psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, your entire life begins to rearrange itself. Like, I don't know if you've been watching my videos over the past half a year, 7 months to be exact, but my entire life is different. And I don't even know what the hell happened. Now, see, there was a trigger moment. And in making this video, I want to emphasize that this video right now for you may be that catalytic moment. There was a trigger moment 7 months ago where I said no to a relationship that was no longer good for me. To be completely honest, it was never good for me. But see, we often operate from a level of scarcity and deprivation and loneliness, and a relationship and romance and love is rare. So when one comes down the pike, you better take it and not let go and settle, because what if nobody else ever comes by? So that's what I did. I said, well, here she is. Better settle with this, even though it's screaming toxic, it's screaming unhealthy, it's red flags out the gate. But I said, well, maybe I can work my way into this being healthy. Maybe I can sacrifice myself and abandon myself to such an extent where I'm happy because I'm in a relationship. So, without boring you and exhausting you with the story of that toxic relationship, there came a point where I said, I'm sorry, but I'm done here. I said no. And I stopped talking to them. Cold turkey. Done. And they sort of casually moved right on, and there was a little period of time where they were trying to like suck me back in a little bit because I was a source of attention and validation, and you know what I'm saying, tending to the victim mentality that they had. But see, I turned away and I moved on, and I experienced heartbreak. I experienced heartbreak because once again, it was the demise of a relationship. But something critically different, there was something critically different about the end of this relationship that pivoted my life in a direction that I could have never anticipated, and it set in motion a cascade of self-transformation. Now, I say that me saying no to this relationship is what triggered this transformation. But really, on a deeper and more energetic level, what happened, what really triggered this transformation, is I chose myself. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna do me for a change. I'm gonna listen to what Devon wants. Because the inner child, the inner Devon, is screaming to be seen and heard and validated and understood. And by me choosing this relationship, abandoning myself again and again and again to this relationship, what I was doing was I was telling my inner child, I was saying, Devon, you go sit down in the corner. I got this. I want this. I'm gonna make this work. And the inner child saying, but I'm not loved. I'm not seen. I'm not being heard. I'm not being reciprocated. I'm not being met halfway. This is horrible for me. And I'm saying, nope, I want this relationship. So you, inner child, little me, you go sit in the corner and I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna chase what I want. I can fix this and meddle around with it enough so that it's good for me. But see, through a series of events that happened within a month, I came to realize I need to get the hell out of this. And so I did. I said, I'm done. I'm sorry, but I'm done. What happened when I did that completely changed the course of my life. And that was that trigger moment that set in motion this mystical law of transformation. Because I reclaimed my own self-love, because I chose myself, what resulted in that was a complete 180 identity shift. And the form that this took for me was confidence like I'd never experienced in my life, ever. No longer tolerating toxicity. No longer being afraid to stand up for myself. No longer being afraid to say how I feel. No longer fearing the judgment of other people. Owning myself. I said, this is who I am. And if you like it, cool. If you don't like it, that's cool too. All the power to you. This world of confidence was born, and it was grounded. It was so purely grounded and completely in accordance with every facet of my being, mind, body, and soul. Now see, I'd say I've had two awakenings in my life. The first awakening was at 16 years old when I took LSD and all this shit started happening. I was wondering, who am I? What is life? What is love? What is this? What is death? What does it mean to even be alive? What is consciousness? What is my mind? And all this wonderful stuff. And see, that was very airy and mystical and divine and transcendent. And what resulted in that is losing the ground. I got lost in La La Land, essentially. I was very young, and I didn't know what to do with all that energy. The second awakening I had was when I said no to that relationship. And it was like I got slammed down into this seat of self-worth, of complete, confident, secure groundedness, where I said, this is who I am. This is why I'm here. This is what I have to offer. And what resulted from this was, out of nowhere, I was like, I am going to dedicate myself to YouTube. Because there was this flood of ideas and passion and inspiration and motivation and commitment. And so what's funny is I've often thought to myself before, what changed on my YouTube channel? And I've had this funny idea that all that's changed is I stood up. Like right now, I'm standing while I make this video. I used to make all my videos sitting down in the lotus position. talking about God. And what I do now is I stand up. And I bought a camera and I got it on a tripod. And it's a completely different energy. It's this sort of like owning, this projection, this force in a way. It's this energy of power, of groundedness, of expression, of passion and motivation. And see, when I reclaimed my power, I realized how good of a person I am, how beautiful of a soul I am, and how much I want to offer to everybody else. And the vehicle through which I did that was through my YouTube channel. And the reason you're watching this video right now is a direct result of that awakening. And so what happened was I bought this camera and I stood up and I took on this whole different aesthetic. I don't know, and see, that's what I'm talking about. Where the hell did that come from? What was that? What is that? What was this change? Where, because I said no to this relationship, now I'm gonna commit to YouTube and buy a camera and speak from my heart. What was that? Where did that come from? That's the mystical law. Where when you make a critical decision in your life, often one that involves owning who you are, something shifts. And it creates this ripple effect that begins to change your entire life. And I feel myself to be completely unrecognizable to who I was 7 months ago. And see, I started creating these videos. I started talking from my heart. And all of these ideas were just flowing out of nowhere. And I was offering all this stuff. All this stuff that, it wasn't stuff that I just like learned all of a sudden. It was already always there. But it was blocked. I wasn't able to express it. I wasn't able to show up as who I really am because there was this guard. There was this, I'm not worthy enough to share what I think on YouTube. No, I mean, the things that I've learned from places that other people can learn. Who am I to teach? Who am I to offer? Who am I to share? Who am I to show up? No, that's cringy. That's cringy. Oh, I don't want people to see me. You know, I don't want people to, I'm afraid of like, what if they think I'm weird? What if they, all this stuff. That was the block. And for some mystical reason, by saying no to this relationship and reclaiming my power, it completely changed everything. And I started creating all these videos. And prior to this awakening, my YouTube channel, I would make a video like once a month, if that. And it was often where I'm just like out on a walk or something, and I just like get this idea, so I set up my phone and I just start talking. There was no like commitment. There was no showing up. I just kind of, it was like a video diary. It was like talk therapy. And I was under the impression, I was like, oh, the way I always said it was like, oh, I don't run my YouTube channel. It's like run by God, where whenever God wants a video to come through, that's when a video gets made. But when I had this awakening, when I reclaimed my power, I realized how passionate I am about YouTube. And so I decided I'm gonna be a YouTuber. And what came with that was a complete identity shift, where I started creating all these videos and talking about all this stuff and sharing all this information that was somewhere within me, and now it was just able to all come out, you know? And it started to blow my mind how much more say I had in the expression of my passion. A lot of people experience writer's block, not even in the form of you're trying to create it, but you just can't get it out. It's like you're like creatively constipated or something, but also self-doubt, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of people not liking you, fear of people thinking you're weird, perfectionism, thinking you're not good enough, thinking, oh, I can't, oh no, that's not good, oh, I'm so dumb, oh my God, it's so weird to look at a camera and talk, oh my God, this idea is so dumb, and all this stuff. And it blew me away when I owned myself and I said, this is who I am and I want to share that. It blew me away how much more say I had in it. Where, for instance, right now I set up this camera and I just start talking. I wouldn't have made a video like this months ago, a year ago. And I realized that our life, and I'm not just talking about YouTube. When I talk about YouTube, I'm talking about just like my personal journey, the way in which that this has occurred for me. But what our life is when it comes to living the life that we want to live and fulfilling that which we want to get fulfilled with, or creating that which we want to create. It's not just by an act of God that it just happens. It's you and God, or the universe, or spirit, or whatever you want to call it, in tandem. It's a relationship. It's a cooperation. You cooperate with God or your higher self or whatever to show up and create what you want to create. Now see, what's wild is that when passion meets creativity, when passion meets an idea that you have, a dream that you have, an aspiration or a goal that you have, that is when the rubber meets the road. Because prior to the passion, it's just like a, oh, imagine if kind of thing. It's like, oh, that would be cool if. But there comes a moment, guys, when you realize, I can do it. And not only can you do it, but you also realize, why am I not doing it? What am I waiting for? We often think that these people who have achieved these titanic fulfillments and goals are and successes, that they're like these outliers. Oh, it's only people like them. Only those kinds of people can live up to their dream. I'm just little old normal me. I'm just a normal guy. I'm just a normal average girl. When you think on that level, that's an identity that you have. Who you think you are is somebody who can't live up to what they want to create. And what happened for me when I reclaimed my power by getting rid of this shitty relationship was, for some reason, I was like, I'm a YouTuber. As funny as that may sound, like that's what happened. I'm a YouTuber now. Holy crap. Imagine that. I didn't even like choose it. That's what passion is. You don't really choose what your passion is. You don't choose what your purpose is. Your purpose is that deeper calling that you have within you. There's a quote that says, don't die with your music still inside you. Your music is unique to you alone. And for some reason, my music right now, where I'm at in my life, is YouTube. And see, when I decided that I'm a YouTuber now, all this stuff started changing. I bought a camera, I bought a tripod, I stood up, I started editing my videos. My videos in the past, I never edited at all. All this stuff started happening and I'm not choosing any of it. And see, this is what I was talking about when I was in the beginning, saying how people that teach about manifestation, the way I'm starting to realize it is that they're kind of talking about how they don't know what the hell happened. Like I was saying, it was like, oh, I just kind of like, I got this idea and I was so passionate about it and I was like, I suddenly realized that I can do this. And so that triggered this like set of actions. I took these set of actions that led me in this direction, and it's like I don't know. That's how it works. Manifestation is a mysterious thing. It's a mysterious energy. There's within it the level of mystery. We don't understand why, when you make an identity level shift, your entire life changes. Now see, what's come through me being a YouTuber Is my channel growing in a way that it's never grown before? I've like tripled what I had prior to this awakening. I'm committed. I make videos every single week. I go live and I've met all these beautiful people. I've been inspired by different YouTubers that have led me in directions to literally travel around the country. And it was when I was at the beginning of May, I traveled to Sedona, Arizona. And it was in that energy, what brought me to Sedona was this energy of passion and creativity that was born out of choosing myself. And it was in Sedona that I met my beautiful girlfriend, who's now in my life, and we're in this beautiful, blossoming relationship. So much is like changing. And if you watch my past video, I'm being kicked out of this, where I am right now. I'm being kicked out of my home. And my grandfather is dying, and I'm being moved. The universe is moving me. And I just got an apartment, and I'm moving all my stuff over there. And I don't know what the hell's coming next. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know if I can financially support this, but you know what? I'm gonna go anyway. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. And once I took that leap of faith, all this money is coming to me. All this financial abundance. Not only financial abundance, but just abundance in general is coming into my life. And I don't know where the hell it's coming from, and I don't know why it's coming. But my life is changing in this like really fast-paced kind of way that it's almost alarming. I literally had like a mental breakdown last week because my life is changing so fast. But see, it's not a mental breakdown in the sense that something is wrong. It was a sort of nervous breakdown in realizing how rapidly everything is changing. My entire life is different. And what I want to emphasize for you in this video is that it's one little shift. And maybe this video is that shift for you. What inside of you is calling for your attention? What is your body asking for? What does your life want from you? When are you going to put your foot down and own who you are? You are just as capable as everybody else. That person that you look up to and you say, oh wow, that's incredible what they're doing. The only difference between you and them is they believed that they could do it, and because they believed that they could do it, they went after it. They tackled it. It's the very same process of action that's required on your part. Now, what you're here to do is a question for you. It's a conversation between you and God. Nobody else is going to tell you what you're here to do. People like to try to tell you what you're here to do. You're here to be an employee. You're here to be a low-level, average kind of human being. You're here to just be normal and fit in with everybody else and don't stand out too much. But nah, man. Within you is an ocean of art and creativity and fulfillment and abundance like you could have never imagined. They're not bullshitting you when they say that when you change your mind, you change your life. When you rearrange your head, your life follows suit. The external world is like a shadow being cast by the state that you're in. You ever noticed how when you're in a bad mood, everything is annoying? Or when you're sad, everything is depressing and meaningless? Or when you're in love, everything is amazing? Haven't you noticed how what you feel sort of dictates the way the world looks to you? And see, when you're in a certain state, you make actions and decisions from that state. When you're pissed off, you speed in traffic, and then you get pulled over. If you were happy, you were in no rush, and so you're just gliding along. And then because you weren't speeding, an opportunity manifests itself. Whether you stop in traffic or something happens, or you miss an accident, your state will dictate actions that you make. And those actions that you make are equal to and congruent with the state you're in. When you plant potatoes, don't expect carrots. When you act from anger, don't expect good from it. When you act from anger, you're acting from frustration. That's why I was talking about relationships earlier. Do you want to come up to a relationship and say, I need you. I'm so miserable and depressed and alone and desperate when I don't have a partner. I need you to fulfill me. You're my other half. You're the key to my heart. Please don't leave me. Is that really the energy you want to pull up to a relationship with? When you own happiness and fulfillment and abundance right here, right now, regardless of the external world, that's what you'll show up to a relationship with. Like I said a moment ago, it's a celebration. You're coming to the relationship as a celebration, not as a means of, please complete me, don't leave. And see, that's what's required in a healthy relationship, is to say, listen, like, I love you, but we are our own beings. We are whole and complete and valuable and worthy alone, independently. It's like a fractal, man. It's a fractal where you alone are a single unit, complete. And when you meet and come into harmony with somebody else who's in that same vibration, now you come together as an even greater macrocosmic scale of completion and celebration and abundance. When you yourself are incomplete and you need the other half, you attract somebody who's in the same vibe as that, and now you're just one little average, kind of happy and fulfilled, but more so codependent and desperate and scarce unit. What you need to focus on in your life is the state that you're in. Are you denying how you feel? Are you pushing away your feelings? Are you calling yourself dumb? Are you saying your emotions and your trauma and your doubt is stupid? Are you insulting yourself? Maybe for a change, you should go sit outside all alone somewhere and own your insecurities. Own that depression. Say, man, I am fucking sad. Right now, life seems completely meaningless. Feels like everybody's left me. It feels like there's no hope. Or you own your feeling of self-doubt, of saying, I feel like I don't have what it takes. You own it. You don't run from it. Don't pretend it's not there. That creates dissonance, energetic dissonance. And say, here's what's far out. It's more negative to say, oh, that's a negative thought, I'm gonna just sit here and think positively. That's a lot of what the manifestation community will do, is only think positive, affirmations, think positively, visualize the beauty, and then you feel your insecurity and your doubt and your lack of faith and thinking you don't have what it takes, and you go, oh, don't think about that, don't focus on that, think positive, think positive. But then you begin to literally rot from the inside out because you're not in energetic harmony with yourself. You're in dissonance. You're in denial. You become spiritually and energetically lopsided. It's more positive to admit that you feel negative than it is to feel negative but deny it and think positively. Can you hear that? When you're insecure and you look in the mirror and you're disgusted and you say, you know what? Yeah, I'm insecure as f*** right now. That's confidence. When you're not fulfilled and you say, you know what? Yeah, I don't feel fulfilled right now. That is a form of fulfillment because your body comes into harmony. Mind, heart, coherence. Our body, mind, and soul are communicating with each other. And your life will get interesting when you start to listen to the conversation. Stop trying to run the show. Stop trying to play God. Stop trying to think you have it all figured out. Stop running from yourself. If you say, I'm happy, but your body is screaming otherwise, you're not listening to yourself. And see, when I said no to that relationship, I acknowledged a part of myself that I had never listened to before. And this boom in my life is a direct manifestation of that harmony. Where I listened to myself, I chose myself, I was there for myself for a change. And it's completely transformed my life. I think, feel, and act from a completely different place. Prior to this awakening, when I thought of love and compassion, I thought compassion and love was something that goes out to others. Once I had this awakening where I chose myself and reclaimed my power and worth, I realized love isn't something you give to others. Love is a state of being in which you are included in equal proportion as much as you give it to everybody else. Love is a state of being. It's a vibration. And you're included in it. It's absolutely absurd to imagine that love goes out to others alone. You are included in love. And the greatest gift that you could ever give yourself is to include yourself in that love. And when you do, your entire life will change. I'm telling you, man, if you're in a place where you're not loving yourself and you come out of this video and you own who you are and you stand up for who you are and you stop giving two shits what other people think and you upload your art or you make that video or you release that song or you write that book or you create that craft and put it on Etsy or whatever, or you start that business idea and everybody shits on you and you say, you know what, whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway. And when you get that self-doubt and you say, listen, I understand you're trying to keep me safe by keeping me in the known, but I'm gonna keep going anyway because I know I got what it takes. And your doubt says, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if you got what it takes. But you keep going anyway, your life will change, bro. There's no getting around it. That's what manifestation is. It's called the law of attraction for a reason, because it's a law where when you change you, your life changes. And the first step in doing so is owning who you are. Because it's by owning who you are that you sort of come into alignment where you can hear what you're here to do. And there is nothing holding you back from what you're here to do other than the story you're telling yourself where you're saying, I can't. I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. What if they judge me? It's a story, man. It's a story. The greatest gift you could ever do for yourself is to own who you are, to admit who you are to yourself. Never mind admitting it to other people. Admit it to yourself. It's wild. It's wild. It's getting dark. I'm gonna wrap this video up here soon, but yeah, it's your life changes when you change. Stop sitting around and waiting for miracles. Stop sitting around and waiting to see 11:11 on the microwave. Stop waiting to bump into the one at the grocery store. Stop waiting for somebody to put you on and tell you, you have what it takes, man, go for it. Own your shit. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, before you click off this video, leave a like, because it helps these videos go very far. And if you're new to the channel, and this video resonates with you, I post stuff like this every single week. So do me a favor, go to the channel, subscribe, and you'll get to see the stuff that I post every single week. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.